Yeah, I'm David Robinson, the father of Geologist Daniel Robinson. We're out here to do a candlelight visual on behalf of my son, and also to bring light into other families who are going through similar situations. So thank you. I'm thanking everybody who's out here to support. We need to stand in solidarity to bring attention to this case and to make a statement.
Oh, I'll be your shelter, I'll be your armor. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hardest fight. It's true, I will rescue you.
Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son, and I'm still searching for him. Thank you for coming out to this morning's Q&A. My name is David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing here in Buckeye, Arizona, from his job site. My son is a geologist by trade. He's hired on as a field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist, where he's assigned to wells to check the viability of those wells. His job is so important that if before a community can be built, he had to determine if that well can produce at least 100 years of water, and also that the viability of the well as if the water is drinkable. So thank you guys for joining in this morning. Again, my name is David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. Like I said, he went missing on June the 23rd, 2021. At the work site, he met a gentleman. He was there for the first time, meeting this gentleman there. Never been to this well site before. He followed the gentleman in until the well site itself. And at that well site, he told the officers that my son, pretty much after a 10-minute conversation, he waved off and drove off from that site. He later, there's two different ways he said it. One way, he was alerted by Daniel's job, that they were searching for Daniel, seeking out where his location. He wondered what took him so long when he left and see if he was coming back, that he decided to go drive to see where he was located. He said from his vehicle, he followed the tracks because it was raining so hard that day that the tracks got washed away, and that he stayed to the left of those tracks because He wanted to make sure that he didn't disturb those tracks, and that he knew that this thing would become big and that it would get national attention. And just in case police were looking, he didn't want to disturb those tracks. He drove off after these tracks for over a mile until came up to this gate. He went through a gate where he drove a few other miles. He got on foot and walked a mile. He went up on a high hill to look over to see if he could see my son. And from that point, he got back in the vehicle. He drove a little bit more. He started painting rocks with red paint so that officers would know where to come look. So that's the story of my son. My son had never been seen again from that point. And his vehicle showed up here on July the 19th, 2021, almost a month later, in that ravine. My son's clothing, everything he was wearing on his body, that safety vest was all what he had on that day in a pile 3 feet away from that vehicle. The safety vest itself, you see here, it was another foot away from that pile of clothing. In that pile of clothing, my son's wallet, and inside the vehicle was my son's cell phone, his work computer, and some other items. So again, one of his boots was another few feet away from that pile of clothing, and the other one was tucked up under the vehicle. The theory from the police department, the local police department, is that my son didn't sustain injury because they didn't see any blood in the vehicle, but he sustained a severe head injury. He kicked his way out the sunroof, and that's what the glass was on the ground came from him kicking his way out the sunroof, and he escaped out the sunroof and shredded his clothes, because that's what head injuries do. It causes you to shred your clothing. And he must have felt hot, took his clothing off, and he went wandering off out there where he hid under a tree somewhere and probably succumbed to his injuries. Later, the theory of that department is that maybe he somehow wanted to be away from his family. He did all of this because he wanted to be away from his family. He joined the monastery and became a monk. And so those are the theories that caused me to get my own private investigator, which he is an accident reconstructionist at the time, my former PI. And when he looked at the vehicle, he saw something different. He saw that the damage on the vehicle didn't match that terrain. He also found red transfer paint on the bottom part of where the vehicle lying on the ground. There's nothing red in the desert, but there's red transfer paint on that side. He also went to the Buckeye Police Department after the Buckeye Police Department gave me the vehicle the next day on the 20th. And also a few days after that, they gave me everything that you see on the scene in evidence bags marked for safekeeping. Because of that, he was able to go up to that apartment, and they told him they didn't have an investigation. What they have is everything they have. They have no more leads to follow, and they gave him what they had, and which was the black box data, the data from the vehicle itself that they pulled and draw themselves. And when he received that, he read it and realized that there was 11 additional miles after the first initial crash on that vehicle. Also, a few weeks later, when my investigator came out to one of my searches, he also found a sock near the well site, the original well site where my son went missing. And that sock matched the sock inside the evidence bag that the police department collected at the scene. So because of those things, and also some other things that was discovered, it appears that this whole entire thing was staged, and also that he knows that the vehicle was resting place. That wasn't the first resting place of the vehicle. It was crashed somewhere else and brought there later. Also, we did, after having an analysis of the infotainment system inside the vehicle, he found that the vehicle was the first initial crash happened almost 4 hours after my son went missing. My son went missing around 9-ish that morning, and it's 4 hours later that was the first initial crash. So those are some of the details about the events of my son. There's a lot more, of course, for you that was following along and know the story of what happened with my son, or what we think happened with my son. And those are the parameters around that. Also, I did have one other gentleman that kind of went through the radar who said that he also saw my son that day. He called himself at one point a law enforcement agent, a federal law enforcement agent. He has yet been debunked on him being a federal law enforcement agent. However, he was vetted by the Buckeye Police Department, who told me, Detective Biffin and Lieutenant Angel, that he is vetted and they believe his story. His story is legit, and they have no reason to doubt his story. So I don't know if they ever gonna put that in their report, but that's what they verbally told me. And so I personally was waiting to get that kind of information and to find out exactly when this gentleman, still to this day, that he actually seen my son. There was two stories I heard from him. One, he was saying it's closer to the 1 o'clock-ish time. And then once the information came out that the accident happened around 4 hours after he went missing, that time kind of scaled back to 10 o'clock. So I don't know if those two are related, why he changed his time. But, those are things that are out there. So, again, I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. I'm the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, and I've been here since June 26th searching for my son. I started my own searches, started my own investigation, and most of those was because I don't get no help from the local police department. I have no outside agencies ever contacted me about anything, despite of what's in the report that this department had utilized outside agencies. It's always customary for anybody that comes into a case involving a missing person or anything to alert the family. I am the family. I've been here since I'm his father. I've been here since the 26th. I have yet to get a call from the city managers, from the mayor of Buckeye, any of them, those officials, any other law enforcement agencies. None have ever contacted me. I barely get contacted now by the department, the local department that's in charge of my son's case. So that's the kind of disrespect and dishonor that comes from that department and, frankly, Buckeye. So I just want to let you guys know I'm here to answer your questions. I started Q&A to help bring awareness and also to answer some questions that people have out there in the public and want to hear it from me. There's a lot of things out there, a lot of theories. I even hear a lot of theories, even some suggestions that I'm not even real. I'm just some type of government agent. My son is not real. My family's not real. And, you hear it all out there. So, you guys have an outlet, which is the Please Help Find Daniel YouTube channel, where you can get wording straight from me. So thank you so much for joining in. If I don't have the answers, I promise you I will tell you that they're just not answers to that yet. Or if there's some questions you ask that's repeated on my investigation, because I don't know what Buckeye is doing, I will not answer those. I'll tell you I can't, and the reasons why. So again, thank you for coming out this morning. I will, at 7 o'clock, have a member of the folks that's helping me, Team Daniel, who's helping me, get things going, like the past kind of like vigil, maybe coming on this morning to have just talk with us a little bit, to have a little conversation. And from that point, I would answer a lot of the questions. I will start this thing off with answering some questions if I can. And then, like I said, I'll bring her on. And then after that point, I'll finish off with some more Q&A. So if you guys can hang in on that. And you also, if any information you have, please, by all means, like I said, you see on the bottom of the screen, you can call the anonymous tip line, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Operator, they will take your call. You stay anonymous. Also, if you don't want to talk to anybody, again, I say, you guys can test the word tip to that number, and you still can stay anonymous if you like. I want to thank everybody for coming in this morning. Lois, thank you for coming in again this morning from North Carolina. I really appreciate you being here. You're so close to my hometown, my city. I really appreciate you coming out. Also, Brooklyn Cord Cutter TV, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time coming out this morning and you sharing your time. So thank you so much. Also, thank you, Lakeisha, for being here. Good morning to you. Happy spring to you. Yesterday was the first day of spring, and I love hearing the word spring because that means summer is coming for me. I'm a guy that loves heat. I like to be close to the ocean. Unfortunately, I'm here in Arizona, and Arizona is not a place that has a lot of water. I'm a lot of water guy, and so spring always sounds good to me. Thank you for coming out again, Lakeisha. Thanks so much. Also, I have Nikki here. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Good morning to you for coming out. Thank you, Anna, for being here. I really appreciate you coming out. God bless you for doing that. Thank you, Tanya, for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you again. I've seen you here before, so thank you so much for taking your time out to do that again. Thank you, Gwen, for being here, also being a moderator and support in the background. I really appreciate everything you do in the background. Again, if you guys can hit that like, share, and subscribe button, that really helps with the algorithm, and it helps me get this channel out there and try to reach more people, because that's what I'm trying to do. My goal is to reach as many people as I can to spread my son's story. That way, if somebody heard something, seen something, they would say something. You know, they probably jot their memory. They probably long forgotten about what happened and moved on with life. But sometimes when you guys share like that, it brings back a lot of memories for people. Thank you, Elaine, for being here. Thank you for all your hard work, everything you do. Thank you for, all your support. Thank you for being here off of Facebook. But thank you so much for everything you do in the background. I really appreciate you and all that. So thank you so much. You already know. Also, Rachel, thank you for being here again. Thank you for being here, coming out to support. She Rose Nation, thank you for being here again, coming out to support the Q&A. And if you guys have any questions, please, by all means, please put the word question there in capital letters, followed by your question. That help me see it when I come down the comment section. If I still somehow miss it, please put your question back up again. Like I said, put the word comment there first, question, I'm sorry, the word question there first, and then followed by your comment, or you can put the capital letter Q so I can see it. That's what that is all about. All right, Nikki O'Shea, thank you for being here this morning. I really appreciate it. I think I have you already, Anna, but thank you again for being here. Thank you, Yunu, for all your hard work in the background and your passion for my son's case. Again, if you guys, if you've seen something, heard something, remember to say something. You know what I'm saying? Please do that for me. The tip line is down there on the bottom. Tip line is always here behind me. You can utilize that. Also, say thank you for Uni, for, like I said, for all your for being here this morning and helping out as an administrator in the chat. So God bless you for that. But also thank you for putting this information up. If you guys want to help in any kind of way, you can go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and you can do all of that. So thank you so much. And also, if you want to contact me, like I said, that tip line is for the tips. It's something that can bring Daniel back home to me and my family. However, if you have any suggestions and ideas and things like that, or you think this happened or whatever, utilize my public cell phone number, and that's the area code 803-200-7994. You guys can do that. I really appreciate it. I have a first question here that I'm gonna squeeze in before I bring on my guest. The question is, did Daniel have friends his age in Arizona? Yes, he has some friends. I'm not sure their age, but I do know there were some friends that visit here with Daniel. That's his age. They went to college together. In fact, the owners of the company that he worked for, their son and Daniel are friends. They're friends from college. And so he do have some friends, as in if they're native or of Arizona. I'm not sure about that part, but I do know that he do have some friends. Again, and thank you, Lakeisha, again for being here. I would appreciate that. If you guys, like I say, have any more questions, put the word question like Lakeisha did just now, and then followed by your question. That helps a lot for me to see your question that's coming down the timeline. Thank you, Rachel, for being here this morning. Okay, well, I have thank you for being here this morning. I really appreciate you coming in also. So God bless you for that. I have a question from Nikki. Thank you, Nikki, for coming. The question, do you have any idea where the initial crash took place? I do not. And that's the thing, we do know that it was 11 additional miles on that vehicle. So, you try to backtrack that to try to, and that's one of the reasons why I do my searches around that area a lot of times based on 11-mile radius, and because you try to find if something happened somewhere near that desert. But like I said, because of that red transfer paint that's on the vehicle, that would suggest that it didn't happen in the desert, and that 11 miles were put on there somewhere else. The first crash was somewhere else outside the desert, and it was brought there. The vehicle was brought there. So that's the thing that we're looking into. Or the accident just happened outside the desert and it was driven there. So just trying to pull those information together. I really don't know. That's why it's important for me to get things like satellite footage. That's why it's important to be able to get the law enforcement, which they claim they can't get, cell phone ping data, to the Uconnect data, anything that can confirm what happened or where it happened at, they somehow magically cannot produce. So those are the things that bother my family and myself from that department, what they can't do. But they can put in information about some lady. I heard what happened between her and my son, him spending the night over her house, and she was able to upload her own information into their police report. That is astonishing to me. A one-sided hearsay was able to be added. So thank you for your question. Again, thank you, Megan, for coming in this morning. Good morning to you, and I'm really grateful that you came in here, and thank you so much for joining in on Facebook. And I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate your help and your desire to help. God bless you for that. Also, thank you, Donna Duck, for being here this morning. I really appreciate that. You have coming out a lot to help out in this Q&A. I'm trying to see if I missed a question. I see you put something there, but I don't see the question. But thank you so much, Donna Duck, for being here this morning. Also, let's see who I got here. Mad Mama, thank you for being here this morning to share your time here on the Q&A. Jennifer, thank you for being here. I'm not sure if you're the same Jennifer I know, but thank you, Jennifer, coming out on this Q&A from Facebook and sharing your time. I really appreciate you for being here. Jitterbug, thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you for your prayers, and I really thank you for all that. Oh, yes, that kind of reminded me. I'm glad the word prayer came. Thank you, Jitterbug. You jogged my memory. I will be having a fasting and prayer this Wednesday, and I'm asking you guys, if you can, please join in on the fasting and prayer. Also share the hashtag fast and pray for Daniel, and if you guys can share that hashtag fast and pray for Daniel. I should have had it on the bottom of the screen, but I'm using that hashtag to promote a fasting and prayer this coming Wednesday. Because I do believe in prayer, and I do believe in fasting, and God gave us a tool, and that's called prayer, to make intercessions, and also to express our desires and things like that. My desire is to find my son, and also is our opportunity. Prayer is the opportunity to talk to God. So also just want to have faith with you guys that I will find my son sooner than later. And I know that when people get together and we all believe one thing, with unity that comes strength. And I ask you to unite with me in a day of fasting and prayer if you can. I really appreciate it if you can, and join in with me on that. Me, myself, and everybody who works with me in the background decided to do that. So if you guys can join in with us with that, we really appreciate it. If you can pass it on to your church congregation and they can do it with us, I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Also, thank you again for being here, Sunset Dragon. Good morning to you. I really appreciate you coming out. God bless you on that. Okay, I don't see any questions yet, but thank you so much. If you hit that like and share, the subscribe button, that will help, and help me get the algorithms going to share, get this whole YouTube channel out there. Okay, thank you, Elaine. Again, Elaine, for being here this morning. Thank you for, everything you do. Also, and thanks to XZ, our search mascot that's out there. So thank you so much for both of you for being out there every week to out there in the searches. Again, Elaine, you reminded me, I will not be having a search this coming weekend. The reason why I'm not having those searches is because a few things. To give everybody, Elaine, Mr. Short, to the opportunity to take time to spend with their families. They've been out there every week, nonstop, and to give them opportunity to do that. Also, the volunteers who come out there every week, tirelessly out there, the opportunity to spend time with their families. I'm really grateful for that. So the searches would be once every other week, not every week anymore, for a while until further notice. Also, it helps me to get prepared and still collect the funding that I need for the forensics work to be done on that vehicle, the airbags, the clothing that's on the ground, all the electronics that my son have. So, so I had to think about all of that, and also to be able to keep me here on the ground here in Arizona, fighting for my son, so fighting for everything he is as a person, his honor and his respect. So all of that comes to bear with that. So thank you guys for all of that, to understanding that part of it. I will be doing it every other week. Like again, I said, it's not going to be this week, but it will be next week that I have the searches. So just kind of doing it that way for a while, just to help in those areas. So thanks so much. If you go to the tip line, also the tip line's on the bottom. You can remain anonymous. You hear something, say something. We have 24 hours, 7-day week operators, live operator, take your call. And if you want to stay anonymous, they will allow you to do that. If you don't want to talk to anyone, you can do like I say on the bottom of the screen here, that you can text the word tip to that number and stay anonymous. Also, thank you, New, again, for spamming on the Cash App. This is the Cash App address for that. I have brought on the Cash App from the GoFundMe also. Is because there was a lot of people expressing that they didn't want to donate to the GoFundMe because the GoFundMe have fees that they didn't want to come out of their donations. So they asked me to do the Cash App. So I did Cash App, opened up, please help find Daniel for those who want to donate that way. But I still encourage you all to go to the GoFundMe if you can. So thank you so much for that and putting that up. Thank you so much. And please share Daniel's story. That is very important. Thank you, Gwen, for that. You have to share that story and put it out there. That helped me get a farther reach. And so thank you so much. I have a question from Donald Duck. Thank you again for being here. Is there anything we can do for you personally? Prayer. When you guys say, things like, hey, look, Mr. Robinson, I'm here for you. Keep going. To whatever. Positive feedback is always good for me. It helps my morale. As you can imagine, it's very difficult. And I'm not going to pretend, just because I don't show a lot of emotion, I'm just not a crying guy. But I can tell you, it's hard every day. It's hard to, sometimes you hear me kind of lash out a little bit here, even on the Q&A. I start thinking about all the things that this department has been done. For instance, I get angry. I get a lot of anger from that. However, you guys being here, I hear the positive feedback. I get some bad feedback too from some things, but you know what? I do not let those discourage me. Nobody's walking in my shoes right now. They don't know how hard and difficult it really is. They don't know how it is to constantly try to wear a lot of hats at one time. Where you got to be an investigator, you got to be a father, and you got to try to be some type of like I'm doing here. Media or something. I had to create my own media. They're not playing Daniel's story out on the news media every day. So what I'm saying is, you guys, it's not just simple as that. Say, hey, look, I'm just gonna, it's not that easy. I just put it that way. It's not as easy as it may look to some people to be here on camera, for instance, and telling your son's story over and over and over again. Because for me, it's like living it over and over and over again. So, and I can't be a father and just grieve my son and just let somebody handle that. So, and I'm not the kind of guy that just let somebody just sit back and just let people handle that. So again, that's some of the reasons why. But I can tell you guys, I have a group of people here in the back that will be coming on screen with me. Everybody that's on the screen will be people that help with the candlelight visual, upcoming events, things, that's very important to spread in Daniel's story. So I'm really grateful for them. They helped me with that. Like I said, it's hard trying to to put on the detective hat, investigator hat, and be a father. So they kind of relieved that for me of trying to get the word out. Like I said, they created the candlelit visual that was very successful. I'm really grateful for them for doing things like that for me. That just takes some of the pressure off of worrying about how to get Daniel's name out there, father. So that's what they do. They help me on those fronts, and I'm really grateful for all the hard work they do on that. So I will be bringing them on right now, and I really thank you guys for being here. So thank you so much for each one of you for coming on. I really appreciate you all being here. Good morning. Good morning to you all. I really appreciate it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Donna. Thank you so much for being here this morning and sharing your time here on the Q&A. Again, really grateful to you all for all the hard work you have done creating the candlelight visual. It was very successful. You brought in the young lady who's have a beautiful voice, and also you guys got this counters together, got the website to help you get the website together for to bring the attention to the candlelight visual. And I think it touched a lot of people, and I know it did, and it definitely touched me. So I'm really grateful for all of you.
It's truly our pleasure, really, to just be able to help, other than ourselves. This is something that was near and dear to our heart. And, we've been kind of around this since October, and so we really just wanted to make sure that we were doing everything that we possibly could, just as people, as, human people, to just help in whatever ways that we could. So we were just brought together by faith, and right. Here we are, and it's our pleasure.
Yes, and I'm really grateful to be working with you all, because like I said, just take some of the edge off. I just mentioning to everybody here in the Q&A, it's hard. It may seem easy, but it's very hard, every day trying to think of ways to bring awareness to your son's case or your loved one's case, and trying to wear other hats at the same time. So when you guys came along, like I said, with your passion, and some people don't know, you all been out to the searches. Y'all been out to the searches before, and y'all know how it is out there in that desert. And like I said, you saw a need and you came out and jumped on it. I really thank you also, Mr. Farmer, for all the hard work you've done, since day one, to also help me get other information out to the community, whether it's letters and things like that. I really appreciate you, sir, for being here.
Right. And as Ms. Sophia said, this is I think what we're doing is easy. And I mean, from the standpoint of everything that you're going through and all the stuff that you do on a daily basis. And I realized that a long time ago when I first met you, that you were determined to see this through to the end. And I just thought about what I could do. And like I said, when I first met you, I told you that anything that I can do. And I meant it for you to call me at any time. And you've done that. And fortunately enough, and, through God, I've been able to do the little part that I can do. And again, what we're doing, it seems, small compared to what you're doing. So I just appreciate, just you, putting the trust that you have into us, and that we can just give back to you in any way that we can. Because again, like I told you before, I'm here in any way that I can help you, and I'm here to the end also.
That's right.
So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. And I really appreciate that. And I really feel that, like you said, from day one I met you. I know we met through another acquaintance. And that ever since then, brother, you've been there. And I'm really grateful. A lot of people don't know. They don't get to see what's happening in the background. People like yourself. We also have people in the searches that work out there very hard. They come out on the chat. And I like to highlight them also. For their hard work, whether it's in the searches, whether it's some people, for instance, that's in the chat, like Lakeisha, for instance, or Elaine, and certain people, Evan, who all out there doing their little thing in their own way also. So I'm really grateful you all coming on with me this morning to share that, because like I said, it's not it's a one-man thing. I came here searching for my son, and like I said, I really quickly understood I couldn't do this by myself. It's a lot trying to juggle at one time. And so whenever you guys come on like that, like you said, you have Mr. Farmer, you also, Sophia and Shauna, you all came along and say, you know what, y'all got together. And you say, you know what, I'm gonna help Mr. Robinson in the way I can. And y'all actually produced that and did that. A lot of people don't get to see your faces or hear about you, but you're there. So I'm really grateful that you all came out this morning to join in with this Q&A. so that people can see that, it's not, it's effort. It's a big effort. It's an effort to keep these flyers going. It's an effort to keep the billboards going. It's an effort to keep the searches going. And, like I said, without people, I'll just be one man standing out there in the field somewhere, looking for my son, trying to do the impossible. So you know what? I'm always grateful for you being here. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here this morning.
You're welcome, and thank you for allowing us to be here. And to piggyback Ms. Sophia and Mr. Larnell, we're grateful that you have entrusted us to be a part of your team. All the things that go on in the background, it's amazing how much we don't know, how much work really goes into what needs to be done to find Daniel.
Yes.
And the little bit and the pieces that we can do, I'm grateful that we can be supportive for you in that way, as well as all the people that are, on your streams, coming to watch your Q&As on the regular basis, sending suggestions, praying. Every piece helps. I'm not going to call it little. Every piece helps. And
right.
Grateful for that. The people that showed up for the visual, that was our first as the Team Daniel A-Team. That was our first event that we had put on. We all agree that we felt it went very well. A good showing online and in person. And just so touching, especially with the words that each speaker had spoken, yourself and the singer, just very touching.
Yes, and a lot of people don't, and I really appreciate that, Shauna. A lot of people don't know also about your passions, all of you. Your passions is there. We go farther than that as a team. We work together. We're making avenue to help other families also. It's not just about Daniel and my family's case. You guys have been champion there to help me on those fronts, but also to expand further than that, to bring the Daniel Foundation to fruition. So thank you so much for the hard work in the background to get this going, this project going, and also the other future projects that we are working on. So thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. We're definitely working on that foundation and getting that up and going. You guys, we one thing we need to understand is we've only been really putting our heads together for this last month. And that's where the candlelight visual was birthed, in that month of us coming together. So this is, we've been moving fast. Looking back, I'm like, this has been a whirlwind, but it's been a good whirlwind, So we also want to stress the importance at this point in time that we definitely do need the donations, not for us, but for all of the work that we need to still do with the forensics, and everything that David has to still, process and stuff. So we definitely, do want to stress about the donations. It's a lot of money. And like I said, now that we're on the team and we're seeing what it's all taken, it's like, yeah, but it's a one man, he's doing this himself. He shouldn't have to, but he is, with little to no help. So I just wanted to throw that in, but yes, the foundation up and going, getting ready.
That's right. And I really appreciate you highlighting that. That's very dear to me too. I have a lot of families that you have to I have to talk to, especially they share their stories. One family had to come collect their skull that we found out there in one of my searches. So, things like that. You have families out there that's hurting, not just our family. So just like we did in the candlelight visual, the candlelight visual was to bring a light into my son's case, but also to make people aware that we're just a family that's just like other families that had to go through the same thing. And we had to find some kind of way to make some kind of changes. My goal is, like I asked you guys to sign that petition, because part of when I first started a petition, for instance, were to put pressure on that police department and also to bolster about other families who's going through exactly what we're going through, that the laws need to be changed. When the family know for a fact that their loved one is missing, urgency should be done. Everything should be working from to assumption that something is wrong and work your way back. I'd rather for them to run and find this person okay, and that person's literally telling me, hey, look, I want to be away from my family. I want to join a monastery and become a monk. And I don't want the family to know about where I'm at or whatever case may be. That officer can go back to that family and say, hey, we contacted this person. They are fine, but they want to be alone. So that type of thing, we can't give you that information. So a lot of families will be relieved that for even that be some type of closure. So don't just assume that like they did when my son, 3 days after my son went missing, decided to cancel a flight, a simple helicopter flight, to look over an area because they feel like he's a grown man and he can just disappear if you want. How you know he wanted to disappear? You're assuming something that you don't have any basis behind. So that type thing should stop. We can't have that. And also, I had to wait an additional 3 hours just to report my son missing. I know my son. I know his patterns. His pattern says he would not go over 6 hours without saying anything to his family. But they rather to look at what some coworkers said, and my son would, and if they would did their homework, they would realize my son don't even go into the office. He's a field geologist. He don't even go into office. So the way that they should ask the question, well, how these workers know his mannerism when he went missing, when he wasn't even in the office in the first place. So why they didn't ask that kind of question? Those are the kind of questions as a father I had to get answers to because I asked the question. I doing detective work and things like that. So sorry about that, Larnell. I forget you guys over here because I started going off on my own way. But you understand where I'm coming from your perspective about that importance of doing due diligence when you're dealing with other people's families.
Right. Yeah, I didn't mention, I don't know if it was mentioned anyway prior to me coming on, but I'm a retired police officer, and I work cases like this. And when I first met you, and we sat in on that meeting with the police department, and I'm sitting there listening to all the stuff they're saying, and then afterwards, all the stuff that I've learned, they handled this case in a way to discredit anything that you would say to them. It was like they wanted to make sure Daniel was, like you said, he ran off and that was it. So they came with no facts. It was all their assumptions and opinions. He may have done this. May is just an opinion. Could have. It was no fact-based anything that they were saying that they were telling you. I mean, from an evidence standpoint, all of this stuff. And as was said earlier, this is expensive what you're doing. You're paying for this out of your pocket and through donations. This is something that you should not be paying for. This is something the city of Buckeye, the Buckeye Police Department, and or the state police and or a federal agency should be doing, collecting evidence, all of this stuff from day one. This is not anything that the citizens should be doing, that the victims should be doing, the victims' families should be doing. So the way the Buckeye Police Department handled this investigation or their mishandling of this investigation is pretty much, from my opinion, is criminal what they've been doing and what they have not been doing. And they do need to answer to this. And again, you paying for this stuff out of your pocket, essentially, I don't want to use the word begging, but essentially that's what you are doing, begging the Buckeye Police Department. Stand up and do what you're paid to do, what you're sworn to do. And they haven't been doing it and they aren't doing it. And it's an atrocity.
And that's right. You know, not only that, it's also painful on my behalf, my family's behalf, because you know what? They put a devalue on my son. My son is valuable. He's valuable to me. He's valuable to the community that he live in. And you know, so I just want them to value my son like they would their own child. And you know, because I like again I said, you know, if this was a police officer in the same scenario, this would have never happened this way. We'll have every agency in the United States out there looking for this one officer. And so my son is just as much as valuable as any Blue Lives Matter officer. You know, saying he's just as much as value as that. So you know, they should be doing the same efforts that I would see they would do if it was an officer out there on the ground somewhere. They wouldn't say this officer came to work that morning and he was acting kind of odd and he just disappeared in the desert. He's a grown man. You want to disappear, he can. It would have been none of those kind of questions at all. You know, the fact would have been that he's missing and they would have been looking for him with everything they got, every force, every revenue, whatever it takes to go find this officer. And so that's the same, you know, I respect officers as in for their job. You as a former police officer, And I know we need officers, and we need them out there. And I'm pro police too. However, I'm not pro bad cops. I'm not pro that cops should be more valuable than a citizen. So we all should be valuable as a person, regardless. So my son he's a contributor to society. Like I say again over and over again, my son have never been arrested, never even got such as a speeding ticket. Saying he's a geologist, he's a scientist, and he can young scientist at that, still growing to be even better. He's not a perfect young man. I'm not perfect, but we can do the best we can as a human being. So I'm really grateful that you all came on and support. Like I told you in our meetings behind the scene, I get to smile because I have a team of people who's very passionate, very goal driven. You guys come up with ideas and you bring them to me, and I'm really shocked. Say a lot of times shocked for the ideas that you have, and a lot of people would find out some of those future plans that we have. And I'm really grateful that y'all are here with me this morning, and I really thank you. So I'm not going to hold up your time because I know you all have to be doing things in the day. So I really thank you for being on this morning.
Well, before you boot us off,
like, dang.
You stay as long as you want to. You stay as long as you want to. I just want to
consider so coming back again to some of the things that we are in need of and going forward, of course, donations. We're at a critical time. We have been for quite a while. And I know the Robinson family is very grateful and thankful for all the funds that have come in thus far. But with the things that are going forward in regards to really getting a handle on getting the forensics work done, we need some big dollars. And so for those who have already donated, greatly appreciate it. If you continue to pass the word on to family, friends, coworkers, strangers, whomever you come in contact with. And the same with that for the petition. Signing of the petition so that can those numbers can get up as well. From my knowledge, there's not an idea right now of how much forensics will cost, but with the amount of things, it's definitely going to be exorbitant. I know one of my times out there in the desert with the previous investigator had asked a question about that, and at a minimum, he was saying more than $50,000 even just for one article of something. So we're talking exorbitant fees here. So in any suggestions, we're trying to think of and come up with a lot of different ways for fundraising. If you have any fundraising suggestions and or experience in fundraising, there's a form on the website, please help finddaniel.com, that you can fill out if you're in another state, in another location, another country, and you can provide some assistance in any of those areas that are listed, or an area that we might not even have thought about that's on that form. We would greatly appreciate that, and we would be in contact with you for that support. What was the other thing? Oh, Wednesday, I know you had mentioned a little bit earlier, but passing all of that along as well again to, I saw someone on here, I apologize, I don't remember. I don't think it was Anna. I don't know. It's passed and I can't see it now, but you had like 2,000 people contact or something of your prayer warriors. So greatly appreciate if you could get that out. Join us on Wednesday, fasting and prayer, however you see fit for you and what works for you. If you're not a praying person, positive vibes out into the universe, into the atmosphere.
That's right.
We would appreciate that.
That's right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. You say a lot of things that I find sometimes hard to say. So I really appreciate you doing that, Shauna. Thank you so much. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Just having this group of people here that help me out. And, you guys help me out with things like that to be able to get the messaging out, come up with these ideas to help, go farther into searching for my son and get these answers. So really, I'm really grateful for that. That take a lot of edge off to, like I said, continue what I do. Continue what I do, be out there in that desert and try to find out what happened to my son. And also you guys helping with the messaging and things like that. I'm really grateful for that.
And one more thing, Barry needs to know what's the hashtag for the prayer.
It's hashtag prayer, fasting and prayer for Daniel.
There we go. Fasting and prayer for Daniel.
Oh, fasting.
And then I also see Nikki O'Shea is asking, will Wednesday's fast and prayer be on here at the usual time? And I know I'm jumping around. I just see stuff coming up.
This is the hashtag right here, fast and prayer for Daniel. Y'all get that?
Hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel.
So the fasting and prayer is it's pretty much going to be all day, but based on what you can do, possibly a 12-hour thing, we want to try to really get those hashtags out on all the social medias, kind of make that the Twitter storm. Since it's the 9-month anniversary date of Daniel's missing on Wednesday, the 23rd. So that's partly why we're doing that on this day. So it's extremely important and significant of why it is on Wednesday.
That's right. You know, and you just brought that up when you said that. I had to take a deep breath. Yes, it is the anniversary. My son has been missing for 9 months. So yes, it's very important that we do so. And I'm really grateful everybody else can join in. So yes.
We hope to, through the social media to have different encouraging words, prayer things throughout the day that can be posted. And David, might you do I know you'll mention something. Nikki O'Shea was asking, will it be here the same time on Wednesday? How might you do your video that day?
Yeah, I will. I can do a Q&A. Also, well, probably change it from saying Q&A, but do a video, do something here that morning. And also, I want to also do something on the evening, as you all suggested, for those who cannot make it here in the morning. So I'm doing that today also, doing something at 5:30 today, here, Arizona time, Mountain time. So, yeah, I will do that on Wednesday. Early to try to remind everybody what we're doing, and so yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, kind of like open it up, start the day, and then close the fasting and prayer day out, something like that.
I would like to try to have some type of prayer here on the Q&A to start it off.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you again. Yeah, like I said, you guys can stay on here as long as you can. I really appreciate it. I wasn't booting you off. I wasn't booting off. Like I said, I'm just trying to make sure I'm really considerate of your time. I know you're very busy people also. We have things we do in the background. So I really appreciate you just taking time to be here this morning. I'm really happy. You put a smile on my face. Like I told everybody here in the comment section, things like this, what you all do, it helps out morale, helps my morale. I don't feel like I'm by myself. It's been many months of doing this. I've been feeling alone. I mean, there's a lot of people around me, but I still feel by myself, you know what I'm saying? But to have someone working with a team of people working with you in the background to help you think about things. I have so many things coming at me one time. Y'all know how it is in the background. I have so many things coming at me at one time. It's hard to even think sometimes. Sometimes I feel like, I'm just going overboard. My brain is going haywire, So I'm really grateful you all taking some of that blunt of that and helping me reorganize some things. So I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. And with you saying that, I know that we do try to, at these Q&As, one of us or all of us are usually on here watching and taking notes as you all are putting things in the chat and your suggestions and your comments and your thoughts. And we're looking up into those things in the background. So while it might seem sometimes with everything going on, you might not have heard back timely, we're looking into these things. And one of those things that I continue to look into, which I haven't found an answer on yet, is people from other countries signing the petition and how that is for legal purposes. So that's been asked a few times, and that is being researched.
Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, I really don't know that either. I encourage it, until I know no further. Because even doing things online is online. It depends on what we have a person being able to do and the kind of way they can help. I really don't know the legal aspects of that kind of stuff. I don't know if you know Lionel at all about that, but the help that comes from other places.
I'm sorry, say that again. If I know.
I think Shauna was, if I'm correct, I believe Shauna was asking about, like people who's want to volunteer, help in other ways, coming from other countries, for instance. I can't say what detail of how they can contribute, but how's that in a legal aspect probably for somebody from another country. I did have someone say from another country, for instance, ask me, "Hey, Mr. Robinson, is it okay for me to call Buckeye and demand them to do things?" I don't know how that works out for not being a U.S. citizen, for somebody to call like that. So I just told them, yeah, but I encourage them to do it, but I don't know how legal that is of doing that. And you probably wouldn't know the answer either. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think and this is me speaking, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing illegal about making a phone call, as long as you're not threatening and anything like that. And I don't believe anybody involved in this thing in the right mind and with the right heart would call and make threats, but you can call and make demands. You can call and say this, why, and ask questions. Leave these messages, because I doubt if you'll get in actually on that you can actually talk to, rather. So it's again, there's nothing wrong with making calls, because I know personally, when Gabby Patino, when she went missing and they actually found her, I think that's about the time you started gaining national notoriety with Daniel's case. And I
Right.
remember there was a lot of shows that I listened to and that I watched, and they put it out. And I know personally, because I've made those phone calls and sent emails out to Buckeye also, I know they were getting bombarded with phone calls and emails. And I've seen this before where it actually shuts the system down, because we get these, I call them calls to action, rather, where you call your senator. The number is put out to the senator because they are a public entity, and so they don't have a private number. So we can make those calls. So yeah, and I encourage people to do that. Put them on the spot. Let them know that we are watching and we are demanding this, that, and the other. Because again, you shouldn't have all this weight on your shoulders from what the police should have been doing from day one.
And that's right. And I say that too, to back that up. I've been saying it over and over again. I would like to have the FBI into this case. I requested before. They had so-called a case briefing that I'm still trying to find out if it really happened. Where the FBI I was told the FBI felt that I was doing such a great job on my own that they need to come in. But again, like you see on the bottom of the screen, I do encourage people to call in and demand that the FBI be brought into this case. We need a higher authority, because this department displayed, the whole city displayed that they have no caring what's going on in my son's case. They allow, like you said earlier, all of you early on, they allowed me as a father to be on the ground by myself without their assistance to search my son for over 28 weeks now. And so, it's devastating. Just from, if I was standing outside looking in and I'm not in this position, it's devastating to even look at a family and have to do that. And like you were saying before, and just to see them with their hands folded. They can say what they're doing in the background all they want to. Action speaks louder than words. I have yet to hear them calling other agencies out there. None have ever called me. And I'm here. I've been here since June the 26th. They also, like I said, don't call me on the regular to let me know anything. So, that type stuff. So it's a very lot of disrespect. So I think, at this point, there's no confidence in that department. And like I said before, I feel like if somebody's in the way and don't want to contribute to me finding my son, they need to just simply make a phone call. They have the power to do that. Call in another agency to take on this case that they can't handle, obviously, and give me some help. So yes, I encourage that too. That's why it's on the bottom of the screen right there. Demand the Buckeye Police Department Chief Hall to bring in the FBI into this case. So if you guys can do that, and that's the number down there, I encourage it. I really do encourage that. So thank you so much. Thank you for that, Larnell. Also, thank you all again for being here. My name is David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June the 23rd. I'm here with a Q&A, and I also have team Daniel, aka the A-Team, out to be with me on this morning. Just have a little chat here and talk. This is a group of people who help work in the background to get messaging out to help bring support to my son's case, and to help bring awareness, like I said, and also to help with upcoming events like that. You all worked and created the Catalytic visual that was very successful. Was able to get the word out. Was able to get people out there, and also to bring awareness to not just the case here, me and my family, Daniel, but also to bring awareness about other people's cases that they have to go through the same thing. Some don't even get a chance to have any kind of national attention, let alone to be heard about at all. So we have to try to stop some of the stuff where the complacency is there when it's time to handle cases where people are missing from these departments. They should be moving really quick. They should be moving fast with urgency. They should approach each case as if it's their own. If it's their own child, their own family member, their mother, father, or whatever. Sometimes, these departments will hide behind excuses of resources. They find ways to have resources when they want it. They found the resources to hire their own private investigator who was an accident reconstructionist, when I already had a accident reconstructionist that gave them all the answers to what happened at that scene. But they didn't like what he came up with, so they took the resources that they probably would tell you they don't have. They'll come up with it, and they use resources to pay somebody else to say exactly what they wanted to be said. And so I'm saying, when they want to do something, they can do it if they want to. So thank you so much, you all. I'm not rushing you off. And if you want to stay along even longer, you can stay along. I just want to let you know that I'm really grateful for you being here.
Like we said, it was our pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
No, thank you all for being here. I'm really grateful for your time. And we will be chatting later on today. I already know that's what's going to happen. So thank you so much for your time that you have given so far.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Larnell, also. Thanks, sir. All right, thank you all for hanging in there with us. Again, I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. That was I call them the A-Team. They also call themselves Team Daniel. And, they help me in the background. I'm really grateful for the team. I call them the think tank, because they sit there and they think a lot of ideas together on how to bring more awareness to this case, and also to help me on things like the foundation that I want to start. They're helping me with that, getting the foundation off the ground, because my desire is to help other families along with while I'm going through what I'm going through here. My family and I are going through here, trying to find Daniel. So, just so I want to make sure, so I won't be trying to do everything at one time. These people, they were volunteers. I was out there in the desert before, and they decided to get together and help out in their way. And that way is to, like I said, do those tasks and things like that to help me. So, I don't have, they know in the background how much stuff come at you at one place and one time. I like to think of it sometimes like I'm a conductor for an orchestra, and you're trying to coordinate the sound from each section or whatever, and bring it together and work it all together. So it's like that. You got a whole bunch of stuff thrown at you at the same time. I don't really get into sleep. I'm always up all the time, and trying to find my son, trying to do everything I can. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. I'm really trying, and I think any parent or anybody would be losing sleep and anything else. But like I said, I can't do this by myself. I got people like who's very passionate in the chat. Also, Lakeisha, who's out there getting these flyers out there. Like I said, doing this moderating. Very passionate about my son's case, and also was out there boosting the donations, trying to make sure we get the funding we need for this forensics work. So all that comes together when people out there working really hard. I just named some people. There's so many people out there that actually are working in the background too. So I do get help. I have a lot of love from people that's in the background. So thank you all for being here on that. I'll try to get back into the Q&A portion of this Q&A. If you guys have any questions, put the word question there first, and followed by your question that helped me, or the capital letter Q that also helps with that. So that way I come down to the comment section, I can actually see those questions and I can answer them. So thank you again for doing that. I know I missed a lot of them. As we were talking, I was trying my best to see if I can remember. It's one, I think Mr. Razine, my battle buddy from Afghanistan and from the unit, he did ask if he can come out this summer, and I will be grateful. I'm hoping and praying that I find my son well before. I'm hoping I find him today. If so happen Daniel's still missing, I'm out here. Yes, I definitely would like to have you out there. I'd love to have some of the fellow soldiers and my comrades from our military days and our days of service and our days of being out there in the hot desert of Afghanistan. So and Kuwait and all the places. Be out there on the ground with me. We boots on the ground. If you see me out there on the searches every Saturday, Mr. Razine, you will see that I have my boot on the ground. It's funny because I put my old uniform, just the pants, not the whole entire thing, but I can use that out there right now. I use it out there in the desert, and it always brings back memories when I put my boots back on and I'm out there on the ground. I wear my dog tags, and it reminds me that when we're on a mission, we're on a mission. It reminds me my mission is my son, and I have to be out there for him. So thank you so much for that, Mr. Razine. And I really appreciate it. I do see another question from you, and you have it here. Question, have you called the Internal Affairs? No, I have not called the Internal Affairs, and that's one avenue that I could go that way. And I'm really hoping that the Attorney General, I don't know if that's the same thing, can look into some things. So that's when I'm preparing a lot of that stuff for that reason. And I just want to make sure what I'm sending to these people is airtight. Make sure it's something that would make them move. Because one of the last things I need is to do all of this and somehow this thing get rejected somehow, and that'll be very hurtful. All your time and effort put into this thing, and I just want to make sure it's right. So some things I do, it moves kind of slowly because I'm hesitant. I'm very hesitant on where and when I should send things off and do things. So, that's why you hear me say it over and over again. With my team in the background that you saw just now, they help me with those type things, those kind of decisions when I should, do things. So I'm really grateful for them again. Again, thank you again, you knew also for putting that up. Again, if you guys want to donate, I really appreciate that. Thank you also, everybody, Mr. Larnell, everybody's still in the chat that's helping out with the questions and things like that. I really appreciate it. Dodge Fender, thank you so much for your question. Could you please give the name of the detective from Buckeye PD? He is my last entry to put on the contact list I've been putting together for everyone. Yes, well, that is Detective Biffin. I wish I had his badge number, but it's Biffin. His last name is Biffin. And so that's the detective that's in charge of my son's case. So thank you so much for that question, and I hope it's helpful. And thank you also, Dodge Fender, for being here this morning. I really thank you. So I have a question here from Donald Duck also. My uncle is a mechanic, highest rank in his area. Do you have paperwork on the car itself? I would like to send it to him and get his opinion on what he thinks happened to the car. I wish I could, Donald Duck, but a lot of things like that is part of it. I don't touch that car, part of the investigation, and I don't touch that car. I haven't ever physically touched that car. I have never to this day. And it's two reasons why. When it first was shown to me by Detective Biffin out there, and he showed it to me, he tried his best to get me to touch that vehicle for whatever reason. He just kept telling me, hey, go open this door. Hey, you can pull the airbags up to look. Hey, go look, whatever it was he was trying to get me to do. I did not do it. It wasn't because I was being smart. It's because I was actually stunned. And I think that was a protection from God at the time, because I was stunned at what I saw with my eyes. This is a vehicle that I was supposed to be in here in July with my family. Daniel wanted to show me that vehicle for the first time, and I had to see it like this. Not in the scene. They took it from the scene. Like I said, they waited over 24 hours to tell me the vehicle was found, but they had it in their compound, smashed up. When I saw it and I saw an airbag hanging out that driver's door, I was stunned. I couldn't even move. A grown man couldn't move. And that's the first time I seen that vehicle, and the second time is when my investigator at the facility that I have it secured. I saw it there. I was at least several hundred feet away from that vehicle. They have a little area that they can do inspection on the vehicle and things like that. I was nowhere near that inspection area, and that, like I said, I have never ever physically touched it. The vehicle's under investigation, and I tried to make sure I stay away from that vehicle as much as possible. So, and since that vehicle been found out there, I only saw it twice in reality. So, thank you for your question. I do have a question. Let's see. Okay, that would taint them. Oh, yes, that would. Yes, it would. I guess if you're talking about what I just spoke about, yeah, make sure I stay away from that vehicle. I make sure I stay with much as possible. Being a father, even though I'm doing my own investigation, I'm very intelligent enough not to put myself into whatever happens with this vehicle. So, all right. Again, thank you, Rachel, for your question. So technically, Daniel's coworker story is the only evidence we have that Daniel was last seen going into the desert until his car is found. That is true. This whole narrative, the whole story, everything is based on one man's testimony. One man that they never vetted out. One man they just asked a question to. They literally told me, we just asked him, we questioned him. That's almost like me asking questioning my child when they're a kid and say, hey, did you take that cookie out that cookie jar? I'm just questioning them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really trying to get answers. I ask them, hey, they say no. And then I just walk off and say, well, he said he didn't do it. He did. So it's almost like that, I have never to this day seen them really question anybody deeply. Nobody was pulling interrogation off as far as I know, except me and my daughter. They put us in an interrogation room and asked us to show them bank statements through our phone and phone record. So that type deal. So anyway, but no, we're going exactly by one man's story about what happened to my son that day. And that's all we know. But I do know things like video footage that shows with my son actually was driving on the road. I could go down the street right here to a traffic light right now, and I see cameras on every major intersection. And you're probably in your hometown too. But this department tell me they have no footage of my son's vehicle anywhere. They gave me one footage of my son's vehicle. They used it as a still photo when they first alerted that my son was missing out there, when I had to force them to do that. And that was something they got off the interstate. That was like over a month prior to him going missing, when he was going out to California to see his sister. Oh, that's the only camera that ever caught my son since he bought his vehicle, that according to them. And my son was right around this whole entire time since he got that vehicle with his cloak device on, because they have no footage of him ever leaving his apartment, no footage of him on any intersection in this whole state or anywhere near where he ended up being missing. They also saying that they couldn't get cell phone pings to even show that he was up there that morning with this guys and follow his story, because they first told me he was, and there's always this one, the Lieutenant Hannah, Sergeant Hanneman, who comes step in and say, nope, we can't do it because we can't get a warrant. And, but the other officers said, first started, said they was going to do this. But he's always that one to step in and stop it and say, nope, we can't do it because of this, that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we can't get the Uconnect. Oh, then they turn around and say, yeah, we did get something from Uconnect, but it's all zeros. So how ironic it is, all zeros, that type deal. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So we won't be able to, we have to go by, like I said, when I give the story, hey, when I say, hey, I'm the father of Geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing from the well site in Buckeye, Arizona. And the story is he was waving to, I had to give that story because that's all that we know. We can't go by nothing else until get some more evidence of what really happened. So right now, that's the story we have to go by until further notice. I do have an idea of things right now, and those things have to be vetted out. And once I get the stuff done I need to get done, then I can put other things out. So thanks so much for your question. I'm looking for any questions you guys have. Please put it in the comment section. Put the word comment first, and then followed by your questions, and I will find it. So thanks so much. I really appreciate you guys coming in here on the Q&A. I have some minutes left before I have to go myself. I have some things I have to do also, and I really appreciate you guys joining in. Also, I will have a Q&A this afternoon at 5:30. That'll be at 8:30 on the East Coast. So if you guys want to come, I'm trying to. The team suggested that to me because a lot of people can't come on, in the mornings and spend time. You guys have to go to work and understand that type stuff, and you guys have to go right look at time myself. I was like, oh man, I'm running behind. But you guys have to be to work and things like that. So it'd be easier for some people who can't join the Q&A and want to have questions and things like that. I can do it also in the afternoon. So if you want to join during that time, please do. Like I said, I will be back at 5:30 on Mountain Time, and that's 8:30 right there in the East Coast. So if you guys can come back for that. Also, this Wednesday, I actually got to put it on your social media and spread it as far as you can. First of all, hit the like, share, and subscribe button here for the algorithms here for the YouTube channel to put it out. Father, also having a prayer, fasting and prayer this Wednesday for my son, and also for all those people who's going through the same thing alike, the family. So if you guys can join in solidarity and also in unity is the word I want to use. You join the unity with us in prayer, the team and myself. And we're praying that, God bring my son back. Give me the eyes to see and give me the direction to go to locate my son. I believe in prayer. I know everybody has different faith and what they believe, but, prayers, they don't hurt nobody. It don't hurt to pray. It don't hurt to pray at all. No matter what your faith is or what you believe, prayer is prayer. It don't cost anything. It don't cost something to happen to you by doing it. It helps. You help you morally, help you mentally, and things like that. So I really believe in prayer because it's a tool that God gave us to speak to Him, to get to speak intercessions for other people, and also as a desire of our hearts. So we have desire. And my desire is to find my son, and He knows that. Knows that. That's what I want. That's what I'm here for. I've been here since June 26th doing so, and He know I want my son back. And I think that if we all join together and we have our fasting and prayer, we can make miracles happen. And it happened. I said it again. I'm using the same story, but it happened in the Tower of Babel. You look in the Old Testament, of course, and these people joined together. They had one common goal, and it was actually building this tower to heaven. And the only person who could stop them was God Himself, because these people believed it so strongly that it was possible. So anything is possible if you get together and you believe something in the common goal, and we work towards it. So I'm really asking you guys to believe with me, because I believe that I will have my son. And and if you guys can join in with me and the team to fast in the prayer this Wednesday, share with your churches the hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel. And if you guys can share that in your social media, somebody can put that hashtag up there. I can put it up here on the screen. I should have had that already. But if you get that hashtag there and share it, and also be a part of that if you can. If you can't fast and pray, some people have different health reasons and things like that. I just ask you to just think about it. Just think about it. Take a time off in your day and think about us as we fast and pray, and ask your higher power for some help. Help for me to find my son. So I'm really grateful if you guys can do that. Okay, I have a question here from Lakeisha. And thank you again, Lakeisha. Every time I see you, I'm really grateful. Sorry you couldn't come this weekend, but I'm really grateful that you, all the hard work that you have done in the past. So have you contacted the Waffle House in Georgia to request the video from 622, the ones who have the ability to provide the information? I don't know anything about a Georgia Waffle House. I do know the one here. My son was here in Arizona. I don't know anything about a Waffle House in Georgia. But you know what? Yes, I do want to have more information about that because I did get information from the Buckeye Police Department. They told me, hey, they got my son on videotape at this Waffle House. He was by himself. But you know what? There's a couple of things that I noticed about that timeline. Even with the still picture, what they did is they took pictures instead of giving me the video. They took pictures of this of the video. It's weird. They didn't give me the video, but they did pictures of the video that they have. And why they did that to me, I do not know. But I can tell you, those pictures they gave me has a timestamp on it. And you know, it's a whole whole hour that's unaccounted for what happened in the hour while my son was at the Waffle House. It appears by their picture that he was there and he left and came back in there again. And like I said, there's some discrepancies there, and I think this department owes me some answers, and I will be looking for that answers pretty soon. I'm looking all into that stuff. Like I said, I'm investigating my son's disappearance. This department don't want to do the job right. I'm doing the job myself. So thank you. I don't know anything about this Georgia. I don't know if you're saying that's Georgia may be the headquarters, if that's what you're saying. I'm not sure, but I don't know anything about Georgia. I do know my son was here in Arizona when he was at this Waffle House. So thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Larnell, again for your comments. Also, if you guys have a question, please put the word question there first, and put it so I can find it, because it'd be easy for me to find your questions if you put the word question there first and then followed by your question, or put a capital letter Q there followed by your question. And I just happen to see one without that, and that's from I may say your name wrong, Bia or Bo. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I'll just say Renee. Thank you for being here this morning off of Facebook. And where is this girl that he delivered food to? It's not just one. It's two. There's two ladies, according to my son, verbally told me this. There's two ladies at that resident that he was delivering to. He was delivering wine also with the other things they ordered. And something happened with the order, and he fixed the order for them. And so it was two women at that location. So I don't know. I know of one that they put in a report, but the other one, she's a hidden person. And this department made sure they hide whoever she is. To this date, they will not give her name. They try to wash her away from ever being there somehow, or some way. And, you know, so that's some questions also against that department, and why they've been so selective for what they put in their report and what they don't put in their report. So thank you so much for that question. I'm not sure what happened to the other young lady, but I do know the first one, one of the ones that's really has an interaction with my son. So thank you so much for that question. Also, I have a question. We'll have Anna put that up again. It's fast and prayer for Daniel. If you guys can hashtag that on your social media, I really appreciate it. Thank you also, Nikki, for putting that up there. Also, fast and prayer for Daniel. If you guys can hashtag that to your social media, that'll help out so much, and I'm really grateful for it. Like I said, so thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys coming out here this morning for this Q&A. Thank you again, you knew, for putting that out. Fast and prayer for Daniel. We're gonna keep that thing going today because, like I say, Wednesday, the fast and prayer would be for those who just came on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, we have a fast and prayer. My team, the team and I, we actually, they thought of that, and we want to join together in unity and strength. Where two or three together in His name, He would be in the midst, and we believe that, and we definitely want to bring some power into this case. Bring some power in this case, and I will get those answers I'm looking for. God would direct me into the right way I need to go, right places to check, and get those answers that I need to find my son. I just need my son back, and prayer do works. Thank you, Lois, for that. It does work, and that's what He give us for that. Thank you, Gwen, also putting that up there. Fast and prayer for Daniel, and so fast and prayer for Daniel. Thank you so much, and that'll be on this Wednesday. I really appreciate it. God bless you for that. But make sure you put it as a hashtag. It's hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel. I really appreciate that. Also, here we go again. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please you don't have any questions, please put the word question there first, followed by your question. I'm going on timeline really quickly here. It's getting close to the time where I need to end this Q&A. But if you guys can do that, I really appreciate it. Again, the fasted of prayers is there, so you guys can get it over and over again, and know that's what we're doing. I will be posting that on every social media that I have, Twitter to Facebook and Instagram. So you guys can join in on doing that. Put the word out that what we'll be doing this Wednesday. I appreciate. Also know that I will be having another Q&A this afternoon again, because according with my team request, I will also do a Q&A. So for those who cannot ask a question this morning, have to go to work and things like that, I will get the opportunity to be able to do a Q&A at 5:30 Mountain Time, and also that's 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So you guys can join in today, later on this evening. Really appreciate it. I have a question here from Barbara Kenny. Thanks so much. Were the pictures after he left? Were the pictures after he left job site? Where's the pictures? I guess you're asking. Oh, were there pictures after he left the job site? No. This is in the desert. This area. Supposedly where my son went missing, that well site didn't have any cameras. No cameras out there in the desert. There is a infrastructure in between the distance between the well site where my son went missing and where this vehicle is located out there where it was found. There is an infrastructure there, power infrastructure, and I have searched that thing very hard, as far as I can. I even reached out to the nuclear plant and the owners of that structure, and they said they was gonna get back with me. They keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get back with you, Mr. Rowell, get back with you on those answers." I have not to this day gotten any feedback from them, so I don't know if there's cameras there or not. I did take my binoculars to walking around that infrastructure to see if I can locate any cameras and things like that, and I could not do so. So, which is puzzling to me, because that is an infrastructure, and if somebody take that out, people for I don't know, unforeseeable miles will lose electricity. There's a city called Surprise that feeds off of that, and that would be devastating to that whole community if that infrastructure was taken out. So to be that close to also a military base, also close to, like I said, the bloodline in the sense of you to that city, it's hard to believe there's no cameras watching that. They do have a gate there and barbed wires, of course, a big wall to protect the infrastructure. But like I said, I didn't see any security cameras and things like that. They have a security gate for them to use a keypad to get in, things like that. So anyway, no, I don't have any pictures and things out there for the desert. So again, if you guys can hashtag the fast and prayer for Daniel, I really appreciate that, and thank you so much for that. If I miss your questions, I apologize. I'll be here again on this evening for another Q&A for the evening. So thank you so much. If you guys can come back again with your questions. If I missed it this morning, I do have a little more time. If you want to put the word question there first before your question, I can get it. And thank you, Mr. Short, for being on this morning. Also, good morning to you. Thank you for your support, and thank you for everything you do out there, you and your wife out there in the desert. Now, you knew I am looking for the question that you was pointing up, and I do not see it. I'm still looking for it. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, I think it's K. Graham. If I'm looking for that question, if you have a question and I missed it, please do it again. Somehow, I guess I missed that one. Oh, there you go. I see it. That's the question there. Thank you so much for being here this morning. The question is, I know we're going to attempt to say your name, but I do understand the last, I believe that's Justice. So is the FBI involved? As far as I know, no. And, it's customary if the FBI would have gotten involved in this case for them to contact me. I'm the first kin. I'm the father here on the ground, and no one have yet to contact me from the FBI. So I have to assume fervently that they're not involved. So no, the answer to that question is no, they're not involved. I requested that, and they have not come into my son's case because Buckeye claimed they think I'm doing such a great job by myself here, with you all donating, with you all supporting, passing out these flyers to sharing Daniel's story. We're doing such a great job that they don't have to come in to find out what happened to my son, because I'm gonna find out, I guess, on my own. So that type deal. So that's what the Buckeye Police Department shared with me, is the reason why the FBI is not in this case. I really find it hard to believe, especially, like I said, they have not reached out to me, and I doubt that department would say something like that. It sounds unprofessional, and it just sounds like something, in my opinion, that I wouldn't see from coming out our agency like that. So I don't really believe that. But that's the answer they gave me. Anyway, I have a question here from Dodge Fender. Has anyone, or can anyone do a door-to-door ask about if anyone knows both girls? See if we can get her name. Maybe saying we just want to know if she saw something. First of all, we got to know where they live. I don't know where they live. I don't know what city they live in. And, so that'd be nearly impossible for me right now. I don't have that type of information to go knock on any doors to get information about anybody. One thing I wouldn't do is go chasing people down. I have to be really careful for things like that. I'm not law enforcement. I'm a concerned father. I'm looking for my son, and I can do on anything within my power. What is this my right to do as a father, as long as I can, to try to locate that. So my investigation going on as far as what I can do. I don't have any subpoena powers or no power to interrogate somebody or all that kind of stuff. I don't have that type of power, but law enforcement do, and they choose not to be on my side to do so. So, I have to do much as I can alone until I can do a lot better. So thanks so much for that. Again, the hashtag is fast and prayer for Daniel. If you guys can share that, and you also can do that with us on Wednesday. I will have that, like I say, fast and prayer for my son. I will come here in that morning, and I will lead us in some prayer, and and we'll go through the day with that. So if you guys can come in here on Wednesday morning, and we start it off, I'll really be grateful. But you guys can try to share this and let everybody know that's what will be happening on Monday, and try to get people to come on here on this Please Help Find Daniel YouTube channel. I really, really, really be grateful for that. Thanks so much. Again, as Yunus says, here's the tip line. You guys, if you see something, you heard something, or you hear something, or you remember something, say something. One thing the late John Lewis said: if you see something that's wrong, if you see something that's not right, say something. And and that's what being human is about. That's what being part of society is about, and that's what empathy is all about. Saying just be helpful to others. So really thankful, especially a family like myself. We're in need to find my son. If you heard something, please by all means use the tip line. You don't want nobody to know you said something. I know some communities about snitching. If you want to snitch and don't want nobody to know, please. I advocate snitching. In any case, that's what tip lines are for. So you want to stay anonymous, and snitch all you want to and tell. Because family's hurting, family need to know what's going on, and you go ahead and put it on the anonymous tip line. That's one. The number here is behind me. I could also put it on the bottom of the screen. You guys can use that tip line 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can remain anonymous. There's somebody, like I said, they're there to take your call, and they'll allow you to stay anonymous. If you don't want to talk to anybody at all, you can still snitch. You still can tell. You can go on the number below, and you can remain anonymous. Just all you do is text the word tip to that number, and it will take you to the form where you can stay anonymous. You can call or you can text. So you have two ways you can do that, and I really appreciate it if you can, and you would, because you know what? The easier it is for me to find out what happened to my son, we can end this. So I'm really grateful for you guys' help. So I think which is 5:30 Pacific time. I think I know that's California time. I'm not sure because I know they were 1 hour behind us, but now I think it may be the same time. I think they're back on the same time. They went 1 hour forward. So yes, it's the same time. So it'd be 5:30 Pacific time, 5:30 Mountain time, as far as I know. So it'd be the same time. California had caught up again, caught up with Arizona. So it should. Arizona don't change their time. It stay same time all year round. And I think when it fell back for the fall, yes, California, if I remember correctly, there was an hour behind us. And now, so that means that now we spring forward, they're the same time. So again, so that's the only one of the states close by Arizona that fluctuates. So thank you so much for that. So if y'all come at 5:30 in California, you come at in Arizona, Nevada. If you guys want to join the Q&A this afternoon at 5:30, it's the same time. If you're in the East Coast, for instance, 8:30 p.m. your time. So Central Time, I guess it's 7:30. So something like that. So 7:30. I don't want to get the timelines mixed up. So if you guys can know your time, I really appreciate it if you guys can show up. Thank you, New, for this information. I really appreciate everything you put up. It's coming down the timeline. I'm getting close to the end. If you guys don't have any more questions, please join the Q&A this afternoon. I put out some more information. Also, I will not be having any searches this weekend. So, to let you guys know, I'm canceling the searches for this weekend because I'm going to start doing searches every other weekend. It's not going to be this weekend, but it'll be next weekend. Then after that, it won't be the next weekend. It'll be the weekend after that. So it's going to keep going that way until further notice. It helps everybody who's involved, Mr. Short and his wife, Elaine, and Eggsy, and the volunteers and everybody else who's out there, Andrew and everybody else who work out there in that desert really hard, and the volunteers who come out there faithfully every weekend, get a chance to spend time with their family. I'm all about family, so that helps out in that way. I'm really grateful for my decision on that to help the families. Also, my son, I'm not looking for him walking around that desert with all his clothes missing off his body, still running around there surviving somehow, being a survivalist. So my efforts out there in the desert is just it's not a rescue mission anymore. It's a recovery mission. So I have to bring my son home. So I'm grateful for all the volunteers that's out there, and the searches will keep continuing going on. However, I'm cutting back on how I'm doing those searches, and another reason is because I have to do forensics work on everything you see back here. I am getting something done on cell phone already. But the rest of the stuff still need to be done, processed. The clothes on that ground, his wallet, everything on that ground. The Buckeye Police Department decided not to do that on the scene. Nothing on the scene they decided to do. Had to get that vehicle processed. I had to get it scrubbed, get the airbags processed. Had to get photograph of everything that should be in it. I had instructed my PI to not remove anything out of the vehicle. So everything else that was in that vehicle that I know is there, inventory-wise, should still be there, from the samples to whatever. So nothing should be missing. And those things when they get examined, all of those things will be examined on that vehicle to be part of my personal investigation. So I will let you guys know how that goes. So thank you so much for that. So this again, we'll have a fasting prayer this Wednesday. If you guys can join in, hashtag like you see here, fast and prayer for Daniel. Thank you so much for doing so. Thank you all so much for your love, support you all have shown for Daniel. We are in this together till we find that we are. It's a family affair. I like to tend to call you all my extended family because you are. You're out here helping, like I said, in every way that you can. Especially to all those volunteers that was out there in the desert, especially last summer. We was out there at 118 degrees, 120 degrees out there in that summer, the sun out there looking for Daniel for hours. We don't leave till like 4 o'clock in the evening sometimes. I don't see those volunteers anymore, but they gave all they can give and the time that they can give. And I'm really grateful for the time that they gave to me out there in that desert. And the ones that are still out there right now, give me their time out there in the desert. And if you guys give what you can, I'm really grateful for you. So thank you so much. I have a question here from Anna. I thought it was a question here. I think I missed that. I pushed the wrong one. Thank you so much. Let's see here. I thought I saw a question, but I think it's here. Excuse me, from Lois. Thank you. Any new updates from the search on Saturday? No, there's no new updates other than, like I said, I won't be having any searching this weekend coming. it'd be every other week. We did find bones out there. We're assuming they're animal bones, but none of us are professionals out there. I know that we're trying to get better as we can in identifying human remains or animal remains. Some things are apparent. We find bones like really long and big and thick, and we know those are cattle bones. It's like common sense, but we still try our best to, if in doubt, we send those things up, and they should be processed by the Buckeye Police Department. They do get copies of anything that we find out there, and we take pictures of. All thing we can do is take pictures of it, and the best pictures we can. It goes on through my website. That's what it's set up for, and Buckeye should be getting a copy of that. So thank you all for you're starting already. I really appreciate seeing that. Fast and prayer for Daniel. Hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel. Thank you. You guys can keep that going. I really appreciate it. Hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel. You guys can share that on your social media. Again, we're doing that this Wednesday. You guys can join in with us. I really appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to pray for a miracle. We're going to fast, and we're going to know that God is going to give me the answers I'm looking for. He's going to lead me into the right directions. And, I will bring Daniel back home. I'm a father. I love my son, and I'm not a person that just give up on anything. So, especially not my son or any of my children. So, in fact, that's what fathers do. That's what we do. We're protective of our families. And, I believe that. I may be a little old fashioned, but I believe that it's a man's duty and his right. It's also his birthright to be a protector for his family and his children, regardless. Daniel's mother and I is not married. We're not married. We're divorced, but still, they're my family. My children's my family. They're mine, and I want to make sure they're okay, no matter how old they are. How old they are, and I know you hear it a lot from your parents, most likely. Hey, look, I don't care how old you are, you're still mine. And I'm going to protect you every way I can. So, baby girl lad, 12. Thank you for your question. Caitlin's social media might lead you to the other girl. Have you been able to find her social media profiles? I have seen her profile. However, I haven't been scrubbing her profile. I'm not that kind of person to scrub somebody's private life. I just try to go through everything I can that I get from the department, the Buckeye, and also whatever's in the public sphere. So I know social media stuff is somewhat public. Whatever they allow people to see is public, because I have public posts, and I have some posts I just share only with my friends, or some I even just share with my family. So we all have our little privacy levels. But yeah, I try not to just scour the young lady's profile, her stuff. So at the beginning, of course, I had to, because she's a subject to where my son himself told me about her and her involvement with him. So those kind of things. So, no, I don't know any much more about her social media other than some things I've seen in the past. And that's it. So thanks so much for that question. Also, you guys having more questions, please put the word question there first, followed by your question, and that helps. If I miss your question today, please come back this afternoon if you can, at 5:30, 8:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific Time and Mountain Time. Come and join the Q&A this afternoon, this evening, because I'll be doing that under the advisement of the Team Daniel, aka the A Team. Helped me think about that. So thanks so much for putting that up, Shauna. Yes, changed last weekend. So 5:30 Mountain Time is 7:30 Central Time and 8:30 Eastern Time. So thank you for squaring that up for me. I really appreciate that you are doing that for me. So thank you so much for that, putting that out for me, Shauna. Thank you so much for that time correction. So thanks so much. Again, if you have any questions, I'm about to end this Q&A. If you have any questions, I'm trying to get them in. Question from Lakeisha: what month did Daniel take the photo you chose for his flyer? That picture was taken, I think, a month prior, somewhere near a month prior to Daniel going missing. It wasn't too long before he went missing. So this is an updated picture of what Daniel would look like now. He he didn't change but so much. I did notice on a video that I have, a recent video, he gained a little weight. I mean, he's eating a little bit more. In our family, we have, I usually like to call it a skinny gene, and it's kind of hard to gain weight. I told him, hey, you can try to eat all you want to. Unless you go into that gym, you're not going to really gain so much. But, it's Daniel. So that's kind of current, very current. I don't know the exact time, date, but it's very current. So thank you so much for that question. All right. Now, if you guys, I see someone here saying they're praying for a miracle, and that's what I'm asking for. If you guys can put a hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel, that helps out a lot. And if, like I said, we're going to be praying for a miracle, and the miracles do happen. And all we do is praying for answers. And I'm praying for guidance. I'm praying for, for y'all to put me in the right place. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right. Barbara Kinney, question. How do you plan to announce when you do find Daniel? That's something that I won't know. I don't know how, how we take that. I wouldn't know how to take that. I don't know what my emotional state would be at that moment. I don't know. I can't perceive any direction I would go on announcement or not. I just have to take that when that time comes, and I will find Daniel. And when that time comes, then I would have. I'm sure you all would know. You all would know that I won't be continue on searching for some Daniel and already have him. So we definitely would. When I say we, I'm sure law enforcement and whoever else involved will be announcing that. So definitely, thank you so much. Thanks so much for that. I think there's a question kind of what Lakeisha asked. When was Daniel picture taken? And like I said, I think it was current. From my understanding, for my daughter, it was recent. I say within, I believe, a month of him going missing. So I don't want to be wrong. I would have to verify that again with my daughter. But I just know it was recent. It's not an old picture. It's an updated picture of Daniel. So the one that I guess the one you talk about right here behind me, that's one I'm assuming you guys are talking about. So yes, it's a recent picture, and but as in the exact date, I wouldn't know that. I can't remember exactly, but I did remember. I believe my daughter was saying within a month, at least before he went missing. So okay, thank you again for the hashtag prayer, fast and prayer for Daniel. If you guys can keep that going in the algorithms and put it up, keep it going on your social media accounts. Pass it out to your friends. We'll be doing that this Wednesday, and I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Echo Search, and I think this person was asking. I don't see it as a question form, but it's something about Echo Search and cops call. I did reach out to Echo Search. I keep saying Echo Fat so much, but Echo Search several times. But I also was able to talk to a Dave Rader of Echo Search, and he alerted me that my son's case do not fit their profile. But to their credit, he did give me a referral to another nonprofit who has drones, capable drones that I need, that I would like to purchase for my searches. But like I said, I'll be careful about the way I spend your money on GoFundMe and my money that I add into that, and try to keep the searches going. So I just can't buy everything that I really want for the search that would be very effective. So I just have to be really careful with that. And they have those drones they provide. They told me they're going to come out for me that weekend, along with when Buckeye. I invited them out to the search to check a well. But they on that day of, he called me and said, hey, they couldn't make it out because some of the guys didn't show up, and he couldn't come by himself. And that's the last I've heard of them. So I'll reach out to everybody. That's why it's important. One thing I know is it's better to have your own. It's better to have your own equipment. It's better to have your own everything. Sometimes you have to help. You have no choice but to ask. If you don't ask, you don't receive. So you have to ask to get answer back. And if the person can't do it, a lot of times it's better when you can do things for yourself. So that's why I ask you guys all the time. It's a constant thing to fund. I need the funding to keep this thing going. I'm sure those nonprofit organizations that you all speak of, EcoFets, for instance, they don't work off of nothing. they rely on donations and things like that themselves to do the work they do. So you can imagine myself by myself um, um, needing some funding to do what I'm doing. So that's the way it works. And a lot of people don't understand the cost of doing this kind of stuff, but it gets costly. It gets costly, and sometimes I'm amazed to still be here after 9 months and still functioning. And that's all a credit to God. I give him the credit and the glory for that, and also for you guys constantly supporting and helping as much as you can. I'm really grateful for that. So thanks so much. If you want to contact me again, you can contact me on my public cell phone number that's listed right here that Unu put up. I really appreciate you, Unu, for putting all this information out there. And you got multiple ways you can donate. She's putting up there. I really appreciate that. Some people ask, well, they don't want to do GoFundMe because they don't like the fees, and they wanted a cash out. And so I provided that for those people. So also, if you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, that helped me with the algorithm. I'm coming to the end, so I really thank you guys. And like I said, if you guys can, please, by all means, please, if you can, come in this afternoon at 5:30 Mountain Time, Pacific Time, and that's 8:30 Eastern Time to the Q&A. I will be back. Also, don't forget that will not be in the searches this Saturday. It'll be every other week from now on until further notice. And also, please hashtag prayer and fast and prayer for Daniel. Hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel. You share that out. I will be having the fasting and prayer this Wednesday, and that morning we'll be leading in prayer and start it off. So you guys come on Wednesday morning. I'll be here for this, and we'll get those things going. So I really appreciate you guys for joining in. I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I thank you so much for everything you're doing. God bless you.